Hey everybody, it's Anthony Fletcher. Thanks for coming to my channel, A Lender's Point of View. Today we're talking about our series that, oh my gosh, I can't buy a house. And I want to help you try to understand your credit a little bit more. And we're going to go through this fairly quickly so that you might have questions and let me know what those questions might be and I'll be more than happy to comment back to you. Okay, so first of all, I want to talk about, a lot of people don't believe that they can get a house. I just talked with a client today, first time home buyer. First thing they said to me, I've never had my credit pulled. I don't know anything about it. Okay. So first of all, I want you to believe that you can get the house. Okay. I want you to believe in yourself that that these loans are out there for you. And buying a house is really no different realistically than buying anything else in life. Okay. It's pretty easy. Just kind of got to put your mind to it. And one thing I want you to think through this process is, what would be the suggestion or what would be the thing that I would be telling my best friend if they were in this issue, if they were having this question out there and they didn't believe in themselves? So think about that. And then the next thing I think you should do too is, write a list down. Get a list for all your credit questions so you can answer them. And then think about getting your freecreditreport.com and go in there and then look at your credit report so you can review it. So let's go through all these different things. So these are the things that can mostly positive as far as what will help you with your one, the number of accounts. You don't have to have a lot of accounts to get a mortgage. One or two is actually all you really need, but it does help you to have a few more in case something goes wrong. Now, with each account, you want to make sure you have automatic payment on. That way you eliminate any possibility of any late payments. Okay, simple, easy. Don't worry about it. If you only have two accounts, great, go with that. If you have more, wonderful. Okay, so not a problem. Um, Type of accounts. It's good to have if you have some installment type of accounts along with some credit cards. That way, the history of the accounts will show that you've been able to make payments and pay up and down your credit cards, and also consistently make a monthly payment down that's on the installment loan. That will be your best blend, okay, of doing that. If you only have credit cards, think about going to a bank and getting a secured loan for, give them $500 like to your credit union, and they'll give you 400 back, and then you make monthly payments on that 400 until it's all paid off. And it will look wonderful on your credit score. So think about doing that, and that will be another notch to make your credit score go up, okay? So the key thing is to have three. If you have 3 or 4 good accounts, then that's all you really need. And then as long as you're not using it too much. Where it comes to number three, usage of accounts, keep that below 30% if possible. You're better to have 3 credit cards, each have a $5,000 limit and only use $2,000 of it, than have two of them at, 3,000. Okay, because 3,000, that'd be close to 60%. Over the course of three, that would only be 40%. So that would look a lot better. So think about spreading your credit amongst your credit cards, okay, versus it all on one or two. Okay, because when it's one or two, it looks like you're maxing out the card. You're unable to make the payments down. So when you're unable to make the downs, it says that you're in trouble. And that says that's a red flag, and it lowers your credit score. By having it lower, it says, hey, you can you can handle this, and I know you can. So don't worry about it. Just think about, what do I need to do to bring those balances down. Okay. Next, length of accounts. Now, I've been fortunate. My mom and dad put me on their credit card when I was 18, okay, as an authorized signer. That gave me credit since I was like 12. So think of that. If you are not if you don't have credit, or if you don't have the best of credit, if you have somebody that can put you on as an authorized signer on your credit card, on their credit card, then it will jump your credit score, immense. So a great example, a friend of mine, they just did it for their kids. They had a couple of like negative credit scores, so they put them on their credit cards, and it made their credit go straight up, but they never gave their kids the card. No, they didn't do it at all. In fact, the kids didn't even know they had that. But when the kids went to go apply for a loan 6 months later, it showed that they had much better credit. So think about doing that. If you have opportunities to do that, it's a great way to boost your score up, okay? Now, what we talked about here is that there's the three different companies, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Now, those are the three credit bureaus. So not all creditors go and send their information monthly to each one of those bureaus. And so you need to be aware of that. Another great reason for you to pull your free credit report and review that, okay? Over here is kind of the negative things, collections, okay? Personal experience, I'm guilty, honor I'm guilty. 15 years ago, I was in Seattle. We were going this way. I turned around the corner, parked on the street, going the opposite way. Sunday morning, I get a ticket for $40. I don't pay it. 3 months later, I get a notice. I've been sent to collection. It affected my credit score by 60 points, okay, on one of my bureaus. So notice yourself. So that like really hurt, okay? Another scenario, 10 years later, my wife gets a $31 collection bill from some sort of doctor thing from 3 years earlier, okay? It hit our credit score by 80 points. And as a result, it hurt our actual interest rate on our mortgage by 3/8 of a point. And as a result of that, we paid an extra $1,000 a year until we refinanced and got it under control. Thank goodness, though, medical collections are no longer reported on credit bureaus. So it's fantastic. But it's also really important for you, if you ever do get one of these sneaky notices that comes your way, to jump on it, contact them, be very deliberate with them. You don't be nasty to them. You want to be upfront and explain to them the situation and try to create a payment system out of there. As long as you got a payment system, they're not going to report it. But if you take care of it, it'll look really good for you on them, and they won't report it on your credit bureau, and you'll look a lot better, and it'll keep your score going up, okay? Because officially, when you get a collection, they can keep it on your credit report for 7 years, and then they can sell that collection if they don't collect it to another collector, and they can hold it on for another 7 years. So you don't want that to happen, okay? Bankruptcies, they've gotten a lot better. A lot of people go bankrupt. A lot of businesses go bankrupt. So if you've had a bankruptcy, don't worry about get up in the morning, stretch like you should do, and go forward and think of the things that you can do to help save money for the future. Great example, client of mine, she went into had a bankruptcy 2 years ago, and she now has like $10,000 saved up for a house. And when it comes to 2 years, you can go get a house. And because she did the right type of bankruptcy. So think about that. You can also go on a program making payments and things like that. You can do that, and that can help you too. So repayment program, and as long as you've got a judge order, you can go ahead and go back and buy a house. So think about that. Don't get discouraged on that, whatever you do. Foreclosures, okay, another thing. I'm in this mortgage industry, and in 2008, when the market crashed, okay, we had bankers, loan officers, realtors, attorneys, doctors, and realtors, title people, basically everybody involved with the industry, everybody you think about, investors, they all lost money, and they all lost houses, okay? See, I lost my money back in 1999 in the dot-com thing. So I was fortunate to kind of go, oh, I better not do that. And so I was fortunate. But all these people did, right? You usually learn by making mistakes. You don't learn by, wonderful things. And 1999 was my mistake, and 2008 was a bunch of other people's mistake. And so think about that it does happen, but pull your suspenders up, get going again. These things happen, and if it's business, it's just business. So think of it that way and then go forward, okay? Nobody's going to look at you badly. And lenders and everybody wants to try to get the loans for you because nobody gets paid unless they get a loan. And this is a self-serving business that we're in. Basically, we don't get a commission unless we do the loan, right? Realtors don't get paid on selling a house unless the house sells. Title companies don't make money on escrow unless the loan closes, right? So everybody's out there on the edge hoping to get you what you're looking for. That's another subject. We'll cover that one another way. Finally, inquiries. Every time you get an inquiry, it can affect your credit report, especially if it's like a consumer thing. Even when you get a mortgage, they say, oh, well, it won't hurt your thing for 30 days. Well, I don't know about that. That's what they all tell me, but I personally seen it go down. So it goes down like 8 points, okay? When you go get a actual car or something like that, they'll try to give you a rate, like let's say it's 6%, and you'll accept that rate, and then they'll go to another bank and try to find that same rate at 4%, and then what they'll do is they'll still sell you 6%, and they'll make the 2 points in between, and that's called rebate. So the problem is you think they've only pulled your credit once, but then they go around and pull it 8 times with 8 different banks trying to get that rebate money, okay? And it can hurt your credit, each and every time they pull. So be careful when you do that. If you go buy a car, be careful about that, okay? So finally, I want to just let you know, believe in yourself, okay? Believe that this process is a good process and it will work for you, okay? I want to tell you that I've helped thousands of people that believe that they haven't been able to get a house, and it's really been beneficial to see them how they are 6 months, a year, or 2 years down the road. I can honestly say I have never done a loan for somebody that's bought a house that 2 years down the road they've regretted it. Okay, it's about giving them the right information and giving you the right information, the right belief in yourself, and letting you know you have the backing and support of us, the loan officer, to help you. Well, thank you very much for coming to my channel today. We will see you tomorrow with the next item. Have a great evening. Bye now.